What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 9, recap titled Hard Conversations. So it begins with us looking at a hard conversation between Juan and Robin. I feel like, the way that he was talking to the person on the phone, Robin says that he is job searching because he lost his previous job due to him allegedly being negligent in reporting essay accusations. And that losing streak is a huge thing, right? If you're a coach, winning is everything. So she said that, he still has about 15 months left on his contract that they're paying him. So they have a little bit of a cushion, but he's looking for another job. But it's like the way that, he was talking to that person on the phone, it was a lot more kind and affectionate than toward Robin. And even when they were walking in, he wasn't holding her hand, he wasn't affectionate. And when she tried to show some kind of affection or move toward him, he moved away from her. And I feel like, it reminds me of that moment when he was on the hot mic in the closet when he said that if it was up to him, if he didn't have two children with Robin, that he would be gone and he would actually be somewhere and find someone he actually loved. Which is sad, right? One, because Robin, she loves this man. I mean, there's nothing that, anyone can say or do, him included, I guess. And I don't know if it's to secure, the bag on Bravo, because, the show is titled Real Housewives. And so she wants to have her husband, right? Her and Juan were divorced for a while and they got remarried on the show. But I feel like life is so short. You know what I mean? Like, just to be with somebody who treats you with such disregard and disdain. But they walk into the cooking class with Mia and G, and they're making shrimp scampi from scratch. So they're, making their own dough, which is great. The homemade pasta is amazing. But even the way when they were doing that, like the way that he was talking to her, it's just like nails on a chalkboard to me. I can't stand it. But Mia being messy and investigative, okay, that's one thing that I definitely appreciate about Mia. She was definitely asking the questions that needed to be asked, right? That Robin was putting her fingers in her ears and was going la 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 la. And people would bring up the woman in the hotel room. So Mia's like, but forget it. I'm gonna go straight to the source. I know that's right, Mia. So she asked Juan. She was like, so this woman in Canada, did you call in her room on, your credit card since you were paying for her room? And Juan looked like he was completely blindsided, but he's like, no. I went and I showed up in person to the hotel room. And the look on G's face, Gordon was like, because, he an old school play, okay? He's like, nah, man. He would have took that to his grave, but he knew the game. It seems like everybody does but Robin. She's just willfully obtuse. It's giving Tisha vibes from Love Amir Huntsville. Like, don't know, don't tell, won't ask, won't tell. I don't think that anything Robin or that Juan could do could make Robin leave him. So, yeah. Moving on. So Wendy meets with her mom to discuss the whole shrine situation. And it seems like every single time we see her mom, I don't want to say she's deteriorating, but she's definitely changing right before our eyes, right? Like she had a huge glass of wine and she just seemed very off kilter. The skin bleaching is obvious. And, Wendy was asking her about her health and about her going to the hospital. And her mom just seemed to be deflecting. Like she was like, no, I went in for an elective procedure. Very protective. She was very defensive as a self-protective mechanism. So Wendy's following up like, okay, well, how did that go? And is everything okay? And her mouth just didn't seem coherent. I don't know if it was the wine. The glass is kind of big and she had a big fat straw. So I don't know if, she was a little bit tipsy or what. But when she was asking her about the shrine, her mom was like, the only shrine that I know of is the shrine in downtown Baltimore. So then they bring up, her sister Ivy's friend, and it's just I don't know, it just seemed like she wasn't able to get to the level of information that she was seeking. Maybe she should talk to her mom when, she's more clear-headed and sober. But or I don't know, it just seems like her mom, yeah, I don't know if it's Nigerian culture or what, but I don't feel like she would give Wendy a straight answer, that she was looking for. She said that, um, the other young lady, her name, Ivy's friend, eBay, I want to say, I hope I'm not mispronouncing her name, but she's like, yeah, I kind of looked to her as a daughter. So I don't feel like Wendy was really getting the information that she wanted, but hopefully she can talk to her mom perhaps at a later date. Okay, so Gizelle takes her daughter to self-defense courses, right? Because her daughter is getting ready to start as a freshman at the university, and she wants to make sure that she can, defend herself if needed. So that thought that was really cute. They were taking like self-defense, classes and kind of practicing some moves, which is nice. Most college campuses have, of course, security, and they have like the blue light emergency phones where if something does happen that you can go and campus police will show up. But you want to just, I've never had to use one, and I can't think of anybody that I know that has used the emergency phone on campus. But I will say that as a college freshman, especially a young woman, you want to make sure that you protect yourself at all times. And that's exactly what, Gizelle was asking her daughter, does she feel comfortable and things like that? Because you can never be too safe, especially on the college campus. Any college campus, there are quite a few crazy things that happen. So, but I thought that was really cute. And then she calls Jason, and she says that he lives in New York and she lives in Potomac, so they have a long distance relationship. But she's like, I need to see you because it's been weeks, and he had his hair braided and they were doing the FaceTime and stuff. But she asked her, her daughter, if she was going to get in a relationship or have a boyfriend. Her daughter's like, no, I'm not really thinking about that right now. I'm just kind of, going to school. And Giselle's like, good. Just keep it just friends. And I can only imagine Gizelle on campus. I think she went to Howard. She was an AKA. Oh my goodness. But it just seems like her daughter is a little bit more level-headed than she is. So it was a cute scene. Okay, so Candace and NECA, they meet to have lunch, and they're pretty much discussing, her relationship with Wendy. NECA says that, she feels like Wendy still doesn't like her. She doesn't understand where the point of contention is. And Candace is like, well, you can't really call somebody out their name multiple times, right? Because NECA's called Wendy all kind of bees. In production, messy production, they showed the clips in the past where she would basically be calling Wendy out of her name. Candace is trying to walk that fine line, because I know NECA, she said that she wants a closer relationship with Candace. But in order to have that, I understand where Candace is coming from. Like, I'm not about to sit here, watch you dog this woman out, call her out of her name, and then think that we can be cool because that shows your character. So she's going to have to prove herself to Candace over time, which is smart. Candace is a lot of things, but she's definitely a smart cookie. So I hope that they can get, closer in time, but she's going to have to prove herself. Okay, and so then the last scene is, Karen had asked the ladies to bring in the past, some work clothes or some business attire that they no longer use. So they all showed up and they all brought donations, which was lovely. And we have here Gizelle and Karen saying a prayer, a quick prayer, just so Karen doesn't have to call security or anybody. But it was a really serious event. I know I'm laughing a little bit just because they're funny, but the situation in which they all came together was one of seriousness. So much so that, Mia had to excuse herself. So Karen has an organization called PAVE. She's one of the board members, I believe. And it's an acronym, PAVE, and it is to empower and support women who have been victims of SA and the R word. And so, Karen tells her story. And so they invite a young woman up. She plays on the guitar an original piece that she wrote about her favorite doll, and it's an analogy of her innocence and what she went through as a survivor. And it really, touched Mia, because Mia said while she was getting her makeup done that she was a survivor as well, and that's why she harbors hard feelings toward her friend Jacqueline. So while the girl's playing the song, Mia excuses herself and she goes and she cries in the bathroom, and Ashley goes and checks on her, and Ashley shares her own experience from the hand of a family member. Candace shares her experience. I mean, it's just, so many women have had that experience, and it's heartbreaking. But, Mia gives Ashley a hug, and, they talk it out. And I'm glad that, Karen is leading the charge of trying to empower women and help them find their voice. So with that being said, I need to go get some water. I know my voice is giving out a little bit, but I hope that you guys enjoyed the recap. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you have not done so already. And I will talk with you later. Take care, Aces. Have a good night. Bye.